Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Salty liquor. Once upon a time in the city of Barons, there was a person who owned a shop of liquor. So there were like a little bit customers. So like he wanted to go like shower in like the lake. So like he asked the bartender to be in charge. So there were a few customers coming in, and like he saw that they were eating salt after drinking the liquor. He never bothered to ask why, but he was very curious. So he didn't know that was because that they wanted to chase away the aftertaste of the liquid, because it was liquid. The liquid was kind of like, it was kind of bitter. So like they ate salt. So like the bartender thought that was because the liquor was like not salty, was like a little too bland. So he thought that like if he added salt, it would add a little more taste to it. So he thought that was why the reason they ate salt after. So he also wondered why they didn't put the salt in the liquid, but he did it anyways. He put a lot of salt in the liquid, like like a few tiny like spoons, teaspoons. So like he still didn't recognize that. So like there were another group of like customers coming in. So he asked them what they like to drink and gave them the ones with all the ones with like the salt. So like he put like a lot of salt, so it became very salty. So when they drank it, they spit it out because it was salty and went to another bar. And the owner came back and saw all his liquor ruined and no customers, none of them, because that like the bartender thought like the like people would like come more people would come because he added salt to the liquor. So like he would expand the business and the owner would be happy. So like he, he thought that he and the owner would earn a lot of money, and the owner will let him own the shop, because since like if like he added salt, that would expand the business, but he was totally wrong. Like the liquor was very salty. So the summary of the story is like there was a person who owned like the liquor shop, and then like there was also a bartender, and he was in charge for a little while. So he saw people eating salt after like they drink the liquor. He thought that was because they that he thought that was he thought they ate salt because the liquor was a little bland, but he never knew that like eating salt after like the drinking liquor to chase away the aftertaste. So like he didn't know, so he added a lot of salt in the liquor, so it became salty liquor. So when people like came and drank it, they spit it out and went to another bar because it was too salty. So like So the moral of the story is that if we don't know what to do, or we don't really know anything about it, do not do it, or do not like expand it. So like he didn't know why people were eating salt, so he put salt and it ruined the business. So an example is that when there was a rumor in my school that like we were like very small, and we were like 6 or 7 years old when like we were like in first grade. So like we heard that somebody, like a second grader, said that like there was a rumor about a creepy girl in the basement that wear a white dress and plays spooky music. But we didn't really know exactly, but we trusted him, because since we thought we should trust elders, and he was like older than us, so we trusted him. So like we heard music, but that was from the kindergarten classroom. So like some people were still scared of it, and when we went through that hallway, they said don't remind me about it, but I was like, yeah, I forget about it like that. So another example I read was like there was a person in the Buddha's lifetime that offered wanted to offer like the Buddha some peaches. So once like there was a person who bumped him, but he looked kind of poor, and like he looked like very mean. So he yelled at him, and then the person said, "You don't have to be that mean." So he said that he should already say sorry, and that's it. So the HM master walked by and said that if like you don't accept other people's apologies, that is also foolish. And if you don't if you blame others, so that is also foolish. And they both made up to each other, and and they and the other people, and like the two became best friends. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.
Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. The buried treasure. Once there was an old man who had a lot of wealth and was very lucky. He had a very good friend that was known to be wise. He may be lucky or unlucky to have a pretty wife. And he had a friend that was very wise and would help him when he had troubles. They had a son together and lived a happy life. When the man grew older, he thought that if he died, the his wife would just take all the wealth and then would marry another man. And because of that, he decided to hide his treasure. So then he got his very trusty servant Nanda to help him bury the treasure in the forest under the ground. After he did it, he told Nanda that when he passed away, to tell his son where he hid it and to use it wisely and to take care of his family. Nanda listened, and later, after he died, the wife told her son, "Dear son, my son, the suspicious man, your father, is keeping your is keeping the wealth from us. Ask someone like Nanda who knows where the treasure is, he certainly will know where it is. The the son asked Nanda, will you show me where my father hid his wealth? He said yes and got a basket and a shovel. They went into the forest, and the right after that, Nanda started realizing what power he had, even though he was just a servant, and how much power he had that could impact everyone's lives and could influence the family. So he started taking advantage and abusing his power by scolding and telling the son that he would not get it. After that, the son did not say anything to Nanda. After a while, he got tired of being scolded and he went to his father's old friend, the wise friend. He went and asked him what he asked him, and the old wise man said, "Please explain to me what has happened." He told he told the man about how Nanda agreed to go to the forest with him to get the treasure, but when they get to the forest, he starts scolding him and telling him to leave. The the wise old man said, "What next time you go to the forest, look at where Nanda is standing. That is where the treasure is. Tell them that your father left his wealth for you and only you. And then when he leaves, you dig up that place to get the wealth." The the son listened to what the before he did he the wise man told him one thing, that Nanda is very weak and took abuse of his power because of how weak he was. The son listened and did what he was told, and when he dug up the place where Nanda was standing, he found his father's wealth. He knew that it was very important to use his wealth very wisely. The moral of this story is that you can you can abuse your power when you realize how important it is. An example of this is that one time when I was in the school, I had some friends, and when my teacher left to make some copies of homework, he told one of my friends to see if anyone was talking and write their name down. So that when my friend realized how like what he could do, he started blackmailing people and telling them to do whatever he wanted, or he would like write their name and they would get in trouble. And since I was his friend and I didn't want people to dislike him, so I told him not to do it, and he listened to me. So then when the teacher got back, no one was written because I told him that he shouldn't abuse his powers, and he understood, and like he only wrote down the name of the people who were talking, and no one was talking. And another example of this was a book I read. In a book, there was this book that I read from that I found at school, was that there was once a king, and he had a son, and there was in the kingdom was very peaceful and quiet. It was a very rich kingdom. And then when his father got sick, throne he gave his throne to his son, and his people were very happy because they thought that he would be a very good king, especially with the one of the best advisors in the kingdom to help him. At first, the son did not really know about the powers, but when he knew, he was very normal. But then, after seeing that what he could do and how enjoyable it was to be king, he started abusing his power make and tried to party all day long. He would collect high taxes from the villagers in the kingdom. Soon, everybody started to dislike him, and then one day, his advisors and ministers came together to make a town hall meeting without the king. It was a secret meeting that the king was not supposed to know, and no one was supposed to tell the king. And soon they decided that they would kick the king out of out of the kingdom and re- replace one the best advisor with the crown with the kingdom. But before they did, they all had to agree that they should not abuse their powers if they become the king. So when they kicked the king out, the king got very mad but was never able to come back in because the new king was very wise and knew how to stop. He would have guards that would guard the gate and the entrances so that he would not be able to get in. And the the advisor became a very good king, and everybody in the kingdom was happy again. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.